Yep, I also part 2 for the DeLorean rear wheel bearings, so I've just completed the other one, so just wanted to quickly show you some techniques on this one. So what you do first of all is you put this piece in the freezer. You can see that it looks frosted, that's because it is. So yeah, it's been in the freezer overnight. Honestly, it makes life much simpler to install it. Then if you pretend this piece here isn't on there, what you do is you stand this piece here in something like this, leaving a hole in the middle here for the 32mm nut to go through. Then once that's in, effectively like this, you can then drop in this piece here, make sure it's central, and then basically hammer it in. I mean, you haven't got to use loads and loads of force. You know, just use one of those style hammers. Make sure it's obviously straight, and then that will go in. I put in some bicycle lube, obviously on the bearing and on this piece here to make life much easier. So yeah, it just hammers in. It's tight, but it's not ridiculous. The important thing now is to hammer this in halfway into the bearing. That is critically important. And you can see here why, because you've got 2 parts of the bearing here. So you want to hammer, if it's like that, you want to hammer this piece here in until it's all the way into this half of the bearing here, up to that line, roughly speaking up to that line. If you go any further, you risk knocking this piece out at the back here, which you don't want to do. And once that's done, you can then get some wood like this, 2 pieces of wood, and obviously stick it on there like that. And then you can get your the hub part here. Again, put some lubrication on, drop it in. Now I found when I dropped mine in, it was level with the top of the bolt. So all I did, I just went round it like this. Obviously that wasn't there. Went round the edge here, knocked it down, just enough to be able to get, you know, a good sort of 3 turns, say on the thread there. Once the thread's on, you put your concave washer in there. Put this on here, and then yeah, and then just start tightening up with this. And for me, it just pulls it in nicely. The other one, the other one was tighter. So the technique I was doing for the other side was basically sort of locking the like this in place. So this kind of technique here, putting the crowbar in there, standing on it, that kind of gist, you know. And then once it holds it in place, then you can put on the big dog, 32mm, and boom, easy peasy. Turns it on nicely. That kind of technique there. So yeah, there we go. So I'm just going to crank that nail down just to say as tight as I can do it from this. And obviously when it's on the car, you need to do this up to a very high torque, using literally you need one of these breaker bars here. Plus I use a 5-foot scaffold pole. I'll check what the manual says. I'm obviously going to have to guess it, but if it's something like 300, for example, you know, I know to do it tight and then give it, you know, a crank down on the big dog bar, and then that'll be it. So yeah, happy days, all DIY. And I say the other hub now spins really nicely, so much better. I mean, the old one was 100% loud, and then the new one is just silent, basically, when you spin it around. So it's as it should be. Cool. Yeah, so just want to show some techniques, that's all for that. Nice one. Cheers.